done, we'll have new druid dice.
Yep.
Self-present. Love those.
Right? I mean, you're playing a
Yes.
druid on Sunday. Hello, internet.
I know. Oh my god, I can't wait
Hello,
to figure it out.
Internet, and
Oh shit,
welcome.
Neil's here.
It's Wednesday Night Dice, guys.
It
It's
is.
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Best day of the
Whatever.
week.
You guys ready to roll some dice?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, rolling dice and shit. Um, as always, before we begin the dice rolling, um, I always have a couple of shout outs. Incarnate and Dungeon Alchemist, Foundry VTT, Hero Forge, all excellent tools for creating and displaying and using the maps that we use that I don't think we'll be using this evening, but they are still important. Fantasy name generators, because I am not at all creative enough to think of more than one name for NPCs or new locations that you go to. Because if it was up to me, everyone would be Frank and Jerry.
God damn
And
it, Cherry.
dude, Jerry's the fucking worst.
Such
Court,
a
I
dick.
don't know if you've ever met Jerry, but he sucks.
Probably not. But I can
He's
imagine.
he is bad at his job, let me tell you. Um, but yeah, and then we've got Monument Studios and Pocket Bard providing music, which you will be hearing and have already heard um, this evening. And then, of course, the whole reason that we're doing this, raising money for the kids, for Extra Life. Don't forget, players, you are also able to donate to Extra Life to give yourselves bonuses. Because in this particular singular instance, I am okay with a pay to win mindset. But yeah, and without further ado, we will begin with some D100 rolls from everybody.
I rolled a 5.
5. Excellent. You know, if you were rolling for Divine Intervention, that would be a great roll.
I know.
But instead, you get to tell me about all of your racial biases.
Dear
Or more
God.
specifically,
Oh.
Helia's racial biases.
Um, that's a really weird question that I've never thought about. Um, I mean,
Well, we'll start with, do you have any racial biases for or against any other races?
realistically, I don't know. I think she sees. So she's a changeling. So she can shift into whatever is useful to her at that moment. So I think having lived among the dwarves and gnomes, disguising herself as a dwarf or a gnome for a long time, having lived among the fae for a long time, disguising herself as human, half elves, elves, and even humans, she sees good and bad about everything, and it all boils down to just people, and she doesn't think that most of the good or the bad has to do with what they are. It's them.
All
um
right. Well, I'll follow it up with this. Given any particular maybe just contextualizing the question a little bit better. Given any random specific um set of circumstances, would you be inclined to shift into a person of a specific race or not? To give an extreme example, if you had gotten a job where you needed to be a cat burglar, how likely are you to shift into the appearance of a bugbear?
I mean, not really, because bugbears aren't stealthy.
You would actually be surprised.
I think her inclination there, partially for the lulz, would be to shift into a tabaxi. Um, just, but yeah, I mean, I don't think that she has any outright biases, but I think she definitely sees some of the, like, Archfey, for example, she definitely sees those in a different light, especially with sort of their known arrogance, that she's not always favorable about, like, that sort of notion. But overall, I think she's fairly unassuming.
Okay. Tina, what did you get?
59.
59. I feel like this is a silly question, but I guess I'm going to ask it anyway. Does Endeavor value their own best interest more than that of the party?
I think they're the opposite. I definitely, probably before I even figured out with you that Endeavor was created by Lula, I think I already had the concept of, if I was going to go Warforged, having that sort of innate, you are a creation of something else, and therefore if it comes down to you or the rest of the party, it's definitely your job to jump on the grenade.
I will add to that a little bit, and please take this in only the best ways possible. But I find, looking back at all of the different characters in many of the campaigns that you and I have played together, a core aspect, like a guiding thread between all of those characters and the way that you play them, is a very strong sense of selflessness, which is admirable. It is an interesting thing to connect your role playing style and your gaming style in general, which is very cool.
Though we'll see. Maybe if the party are dicks, then I'll just leave.
I mean, respect is given only while it is earned.
Very true.
All right.
Eat you all. I'm
Rhodes.
just saying, like, 2 more levels can be a fire elemental.
Yeah, you and I, if you are going to be looking into, like, wild shaping into elementals later on, you and I think, need to have conversation.
2 levels.
Because
You
I
did it,
don't,
right?
honestly, I'm not really buying the idea of you becoming an elemental if we've already flavored your wild shape is, like, the bionicle version of whatever animal.
I like the idea
you've
that
done.
for a fire elemental, it never just gets so hot.
Yeah.
They smelt
So-
themselves.
Yeah, they're like a
and turn-
forge.
They're a forge and turn into flames.
I was more
Yeah.
thinking like all of the inside part just become fire. So there's just the like metallic shell.
I love that.
And then the fire inside.
Yeah.
So if you turn into a water elemental, are you just suddenly a giant fire hydrant? I hope
Yeah.
Brutus doesn't pee on you.
You're a thermos.
Blastoise, use hydro pump.
Just a giant Stanley.
Yeah.
I just have one of those like those the twisty things in my chest. I just
She
open
can be
it.
my 64 ounce.
Jesus Christ.
We
have-
will talk, because
We will
Basic
talk.
bitches.
there's definitely something there. We just have to figure out what it is.
Oh yeah, no, we'll figure that out. I mean, who knows? I might die before then.
I mean,
That's 2 whole
contrary
levels.
to what you all think of me, I don't go out of my way just to kill you.
But sometimes our dice do.
think
I
Elliot
mean-
disagrees.
If you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Rhodes, what did you get?
48.
48.
Hey.
I think you've already gotten this question. What aspect of your character's future are they most curious about? If they
Oh, I
could
did
know
get
one
this.
thing about the future, what would it be?
Yeah, I did get this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll let you roll again. See if we get something different.
37.
37. What stereotypical role would your character play in a high school AU if they attended a normal high school, i.e., the nerd, jock, bully, goth? Who are you in the Breakfast Club?
Yes, in the Breakfast Club.
Or if you were a
Like
student at
crotchety old
Fantasy High?
principal.
Yeah.
The teacher running detention.
Yeah.
I'm the
Yeah.
student dean. Even worse than a student
The hall
volunteer
monitor.
hall monitor.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's the hall monitor. That's who he is. Because he doesn't want responsibility, so he's not like president of the class or anything like that. He doesn't want that.
Too
shit.
much work.
It's too much politics and talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's the hall monitor. Or like the person just standing there being like, you. Or the narc that just stands outside the door that just says, hey, you're late to class. You gotta go get a pass from your teacher. Yeah, that's him. He's the narc.
Oh God.
I love it.
Wow.
I have no follow up to that.
I love it. He's like recording the kids who are sneaking out the back.
Sam, what did you get?
71.
71. I'm sure at least one of you has gotten this one, but I'm not sure who. Describe how your character feels about the party's current situation / objective / etc.
I feel like I got this one.
Yeah, I think it was you.
I think you did.
Well, then I'll let you roll again.
Okay. 83.
83. You might have gotten this one already as well.
Damn it.
How far is your character willing to go to pursue the greater good?
I don't think she's gotten that one yet, but
Or do they even believe in a greater good?
maybe she has gotten this one. I don't think so. I don't know if she's like, I think she's good aligned. Like, I think she sees the good in everybody. And she's definitely like a glass half full kind of girl. But I don't know if she believes in like a greater good and like I think if the situation came to it and it was like our party needs to save the world, she would do it. But I think it'd be very like selfishly, I want to save my world.
Okay.
My family,
You
my
want to save the world
friends.
because you're one of the idiots that lives in it.
Exactly. That's exactly it. She's one of the idiots.
So if someone was like, we need you to go save this other world.
I think she would do it for, okay, going to another world taps into like her curiosity. Yes, I think she would still feel that like that empathy, but she would again secretly selfishly be like, oh, I could go see other worlds. Like, how are we getting there?
Yeah,
What's the mode of transport?
at that point, your motivation stops being saving the world, and your motivation becomes visiting another world.
Yeah, and like the saving part is like a side quest and like a bonus.
Side quest.
Like, I think she's still got that, like, her brain just works in that whole like the world is a puzzle kind of way. That there's never any like, there's never purely for the good as a motivator. She doesn't do it because it's the right thing to do necessarily. She does it because it's the most interesting, or it is the right thing to do, but it's the right thing to do because, like, my family will die otherwise, or I will die, or my party will die, or I don't get money, so then I can't eat.
Yeah,
Kinda
that's
thing.
a big thing.
Like,
I mean, that's what motivates me to go to work, so
Same.
like
Yeah.
so, yeah. Even like being part of the guild we're part of, it's not about making a difference. It's about, you know, being an adventurer and doing more for the experience. Not so much.
and the interesting things.
And the interesting things, but like
and the
interesting
money
jobs.
that buys things.
And the money that buys things. So while she is good aligned and she's a good person, I like to think she's a good person. Secretly and probably a little selfishly, her motives are not always altruistic.
Okay. All right. Then with that, we will bring everybody back into the scene we have going on.
We got
So,
gifts.
We did get presents.
Yeah, you have just left the armory. Actually, let's go around because there were a few of you that I chose your items offline. So let's make sure everybody's on the same page. What did everyone receive from the armory? We'll go in reverse order. So Sam.
We all got studded leather armor, and then Lula did not get a present, but Brutus got a saddle of the Cavalier.
All right, because Brutus is.
Oh.
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 We'll never know what
We'll
Brutus
never
is.
know what Brutus is.
The goodest boy, obviously.
Yes. Ooh, that was real bad. We dropped a bunch of frames. That was our internet.
I hope mine is not cutting out too much tonight. It's been slightly more steady since last week. Wow, Dustin's still really frozen.
Yeah, the OBS had to reset too. So
Damn. Hopefully his computer didn't do that thing where it like just
crashes.
Yeah, on him.
Takes a nap.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like, look, computer, I understand. I also like taking naps.
I too
but...
like to sleep. However.
Oh, P.S. If y'all still want me to make you that little chibi Baphomet thing.
Hey, am I back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Yes, I
Tell
will
me
send
what
you
colors
there.
and I'll put it in your box.
Okay. Yes.
You too,
100%.
So Sam got a nothing. Sam just got leather armor. Brutus got a saddle of the Cavalier.
Because
he's a good boy.
There we go.
And he deserves treats.
Yes.
Yes.
There we go.
Oh, is that
That's
where
where
I
you left off.
Yeah.
Okay. See,
and we just
understand
assumed that you said he was the goodest boy.
Yeah.
Best boy. Brutus is the best boy.
Brutus is best boy.
And anyone who disagrees can come over here and I will fight them.
Yeah.
I don't disagree, but I would just like to come over and hang out.
Can I come over anyway?
Yeah. You don't have to fight me. We could just get like a pizza and watch Star Wars. I'm fine with that.
That sounds like a plan. Good night, everybody. It's Star Wars time. Rhodes, what did you get in addition to the +1 studded leather armor?
I got a +1 hunting rifle that looks like a Winchester 64. That I won't give you the details of the rounds and shit.
Nice. Alright. And Tina, what did you get from the armory?
I got a Nature's Mantle cloak in addition to the +1 studded leather.
Excellent. And Court?
Well, I got a cloak of protection in addition to my +1 studded leather that now has the proper insignia on it of the Yeah, instead of. Sorry.
Oh no. Oh wait.
It's my
Alright.
internet. I do not know what's happening. I think I'm back now.
Yeah,
You
You're
are.
back
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Hmm.
So, you all, with all of your new goodies, you all step out of the armory. The rain and the thunder continues to pour down in Skytown, and the rest of the day, it's about probably mid to late afternoon at this point. The rest of the day is yours.
back on our original track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We head to the Forge Master Temple.
Yeah.
All right. Um, you do have to go across the bridge again.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes a little time to get there. There is some traffic, just because the bridge is fairly narrow, and it is only one of two bridges that crosses the chasm. But with your new uniforms, um, everyone that you see on the street gives you a wide berth. Um, but yeah, after a few minutes, you get across the bridge, and you approach the temple, where there's a small crowd of people standing outside the temple, um, shouting things, throwing things. Um, it appears that someone had at one point tried to light the building on fire, but because of all of the rain, it didn't quite take, or was swiftly put out. Um, but it is a, um, I think violent mob is a little bit too generous for this group. Um, but this is far from a peaceful protest happening.
What are they yelling? Can we pick up any, like, chanting or
Make
phrases?
everybody make a perception check.
13.
16.
11.
Tina.
10.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's-
you guys do pay. They're not really chanting. It's not like people are on strike and, it's not a picket line. Um, but it sounds like a couple of the people are yelling that, the Forge Master abandoned the city. This is all your fault. It is a mob casting blame for what otherwise appears to be a natural disaster. The gods have abandoned us. You represent the gods, so what did you do to piss off the gods to make them abandon us? Is the overall gist of what's happening.
How large is this crowd?
Um, no more than like 50 people. Maybe like 30 to 50 people. Only a few of them are like really yelling, shouting, throwing things. more than half of them are kind of just milling about, not really doing anything. Just being there and being a presence.
And doors are closed. Big doors.
Yeah, the big doors are shut.
Should we try and find another entrance?
Or shove our way through the crowd.
Yeah, Zill was gonna go with just shoving his way through the crowd.
Lulu will follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zill will,
I will
Yep,
go in
seeing all
front
of
because
that.
I am taller.
yeah. But Zill is, shouting. Probably, honestly, this is probably not the first time he's tried to break up a fight or mob crowd, something. So
Mhm.
he's just shouting things like,
Can I
keep
so
armory, back up, disperse, insert.
yeah. So can I'm looking at message and it says I can cast the spell through solid objects if I'm familiar with the target and know it's beyond the barrier. Since
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
my back always
Yep.
in the temple,
Mm-hmm.
can I would assume that he is there, so can I have a 120-foot range on message? Can I point at the doors and cast message and just say, "This is Helia. We're back with the Phoenix. Can we come in?"
You cast the spell, and get no response.
He might be too far away.
And I'm sorry, you were, targeting a gear, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could try, what's his name? Trollin.
I mean, I could get in. I could take one person with me. We might be able to.
What do you mean you could get in?
I can get in. You have the box, right?
I have
Yep.
a box.
Why don't you guys go ahead? Zill and I'll make our way in. I don't want the crowd to knock that box out of our hands.
I need one of those compartments like Brutus has.
I think we can make that happen.
The one with the beer in it?
I think I can really make that happen.
I don't know if we need 2 walking kegs, but all right.
Are you willing to come with me?
Bag of holding.
You have like a thigh of holding, a cargo thigh of holding,
Thorax of holding.
a gun of holding. But if you're willing, I can take you with me.
Sure. Oh.
Or what are you thinking about doing?
Have a dimension door. It's 500 feet. I know you don't need to see where you're going to cast.
Nope, you can totally yeet into space.
Yeah.
It's great for that.
Hope for the best.
Hope that you do not end up at a wall.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
I
if
can
you end
envision...
up inside of a wall, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah, well, so like, essentially, I would, it's got a 500-foot range, so I would envision getting us into the entrance of the temple where we were the first time that we went in when we were investigating the bullshit claims against Trollin. And if Endeavor is willing, I can bring them with me.
Okay. So the two of you are just gonna dimension door in.
If nobody's answering, we can't get up to it. I think.
Yeah,
I think Helia would tell the group. I think that the most important thing right now is we keep the Phoenix safe, and if this is the safest place for it, I'm willing to take the risk. We can ask Agir to let you guys in.
We'll get up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do people respond as I'm trying to, disperse the crowd?
Just shoot your gun in the air.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of bullets left.
Yeah.
Uh,
Not so
Until I
much
go
let's not
shopping?
shoot into the air in a crowd. It's I don't have enough bullets.
Yeah. I don't have that
Yes.
kind of ammo to waste.
Because if then I gotta shoot a person, I don't got a lot of options.
Fair.
You did get that fancy new gun.
Yeah, but we gotta test that one out before we use it.
Okay, I need a couple of those. I need a bullet.
so, if Endeavor's willing, I'll dimension door the two of us. Because they're carrying the box into the
All right.
temple.
Endeavor, you're gonna go with. Okay.
With a very sort of suspicious look, because it's like, this is not a thing that Hellia's done before.
Okay, bear with me. I just learned this one. But I've tried it a couple times, and I haven't got stuck in a wall in a while. So, it should be good.
Better you than me.
Helia, I need you to make a perception check.
Okay. That is a 13.
13. Okay. Just as you grab Endeavor's hand and cast this spell, as you are disappearing from this street, you swear you can see, you can't make out any details, but right from the very farthest edge of your peripheral vision, you swear you see a familiar shape. But then you're gone. Zilny and Lula, you two are just gonna muscle your way through the crowd.
Yeah. I mean, just maneuver. Like, I'll be on Brutus, so just kind of... You know, like how dogs come up and they'll poke at the back of your knee and just cut your knee out. Every so often, if somebody doesn't move gently, like, just kind of a little jab.
Okay.
I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah.
Zilny, how are you trying to move through this crowd?
I'm telling people to disperse. Like, I'm using the full authority of the Deep Armory and the Deep Legion to tell people to get the hell out of my way. Slightly
Hey,
nicer
get out of
than that.
here!
But, like, you know, hey, disperse. We official business. We need to get through. Go back to your homes.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. There are a few people that you're like trying to say this to. Everybody is getting a little bit worked up. Just the fact that there is more movement through the crowd seems to be agitating the crowd as a whole. And as you're pushing your way through, you guys have a couple of people who are like turning around and saying, "Well, who the fuck do you think you are?" Or a couple of people are like turning around with a fist cocked back to start swinging, and then they see who they're about to punch. And like the Red Sea just parts. The two of you get up to the doors, and the doors are locked.
We knock.
Helia and Endeavor, the two of you dimension door into like the main atrium of the temple, and you see two clerics that you don't really recognize, that are like running around, clearly clearly very busy. But as soon as you dimension door in, two large iron golems that you recognize as having been walking like a circuit around the temple the last time you were here. Each of them holds an enormous hammer in one hand and a somehow even bigger sword in the other. Both of them immediately lock onto you and start to approach. What do you do?
Whoa, 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 whoa. We need to see a gear.
That's very New York.
That was very New York.
That's very New York.
Oh, wow.
Whoa, 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 I'm walking in.
Oh.
I think I've just spent enough time there now at this point. Whew. I guess that's what happens.
You
when you spend
believe
Christmas
this? I
on Long Island
dimension
all the
door
time.
in here.
Whoa, whoa, back up. We need to see a gear. We were at the mountain when it exploded. We have a certain bird of fire that we need to show him. Pull out the box, Endeavor.
Make a persuasion check.
14.
As you are saying this, you hear from behind you a hard pounding that someone is knocking on the main door behind you. The two iron golems approach you. They get within about 10 feet and just stop. They appear to still have their weapons like readied, but they do not attack.
That'll be the rest of our party. We wanted to make sure that the item got in here unharmed from the crowd outside. The gear made the box for us. I'm sure you'd recognize his craftsmanship. He gave us the spell, right?
And he enchanted the box.
He
He enchanted the box. Sorry.
Elza is the one who actually forged the
That's
box.
right. Agir enchanted the box for us, knowing that we were going on this mission.
As all of this happens, the two other clerics are darting out from either of the two side doors that go deeper into the temple. And and you hear like an echo from down the hall, from deeper in the temple. Master Trallin, there are people, they've gotten inside. And a moment later, Trallin Billowboots is carrying a shield and mace, which you have not seen him with before. And kind of like a more ornate like plate cuirass comes running into the room and sees the two of you and say, "Oh, it's you," and waves a hand at the two iron golems and says, "Return to your patrol. These are friends." and the two golems take a step back. Their posture relaxes a bit, and they both move off in different directions, patrolling the rest of the interior of the temple.
Charlin, apologies for the abrupt entrance.
Our friends are still outside.
Agir, Lula and Zilnir right outside, if they can get in as well. Um, we were working with Agir on a job that we were on. We were at the volcano when it blew.
He kind of stares at you wide-eyed a little bit, and says, "Well, Agir is not here. Um, he went to aid the High Priestess, in the core. But yes, we should talk. Let's unlock the door." And he runs over to the front door of the temple. Zilni and Lula, you knock on the door, and a few minutes goes by, and suddenly you hear a loud latching sound as the door is unlocked. And none other than Trellin Billowboots opens the door, opening it just barely enough for the two of you and Brutus to get in.
Okay,
and
we're
at
little.
this point, you notice that he is in, wearing some actual armor. He is carrying a shield in one hand. In order to unlock the door, he is stowed his mace, but he carries a large mace, large for him at least, on his hip. And
Preparing
says,
for war?
"Hopefully not. Come inside." And the two of you, duck inside, and Trallin immediately closes and relocks the door. Once all of you are inside and together, he leads you out of the atrium deeper into the temple, into a small office, where he takes a seat behind a desk, and there is seating enough for all of you in simple wooden chairs. But this office is like 10 by 15 feet. It's not a huge room. One wall is completely dedicated to bookshelves where books and scrolls of various sizes and ages are stacked up. The desk is kind of like in the center of the room. It has littered with more books and scrolls and things of that nature. There's along another wall, there is hanging a few different types of weapons and forging, like blacksmith's tools, just kind of like hanging decoratively on the wall. And Trallin sits down behind his desk and says, well, would you like to begin, or do you need me to? And if so, where to begin?"
Perhaps we should begin?
And please, by all means, what's this, Agir didn't tell me about any job he was helping the armory with. So tell me about it.
Well, we took a job. The forge blew up before all of this. Obviously, you know. Um, we took a job that sent us to the mountain to acquire some phoenix fire for their new rebuilt forge. Um, we had this box fashioned to contain it, and a gear spelled it for us. Um, when we got to the mountain, we certainly found the phoenix, but there was another group there. I'm not really sure why they were there. They were trying to kill the bird. We intervened as we could to save it, but didn't get there quite in time. We helped it, of course. The phoenix gave us the fire, but the fight with the other group started its new life cycle, and as the phoenix, I don't know, was it reborn? It's an egg at the moment, I believe. The volcano blew. We got out just in the nick of time, but we didn't think it best to turn a creature as precious over to a forge that's just going to use it to fuel their reserves. So we thought the next best place would be here, under the care of the Forge Master's Temple.
Also, we went there for fire and came back with an egg.
Also, the guy who owns the forge that gave us the job is gone. So.
Yeah, I guess we kind of own the forge now.
That's true. We do own the forge now.
Yeah, but like we have no real desire to own a forge.
We could change it.
Just know how to use it.
I need somewhere to live, so I think I might just take that as a place to live.
Remember how it got destroyed before the volcano?
I wonder if those elementals are still there.
Either way, we didn't think that the best place for a phoenix youngling or an egg that is going to hatch at any point.
Also, it causes big fire to come out if you say certain words.
Trellin, like, holds up his hands. Like, you know that scene in Ant-Man that spawned all of the memes? Mm-hmm. That, oh, and then this world-ending catastrophe happened. Oh, yeah, and also this thing. But also this happened, and then that happened. Like, all of you start chiming in with little developments that just make the story worse and worse and worse. And Trallin just holds up his hands. At this point, you guys, like, really take a look at him, and almost all of the color has, like, drained from his face. And do you guys, like, pull out the box and show him?
Show, yes. Hand over, no.
Okay. He just, like, he stands up, puts his hands out, and once all of you stop talking, he kind of just freezes for a second and slowly sits back down, like he's just processing all of the shit that got dumped on him.
Remember that conversation we had about the sort of demigod before we left? Guess what?
He opens his mouth as if to speak, closes it, opens it again, and just says, "I really hope this is just a coincidence. And he pulls a book off one of the shelves that he pulls an old looking book off one of the shelves and lays it out on the desk, and it is titled Breaking the Veil. And he looks at Endeavor and says, I think after our last adventure, I gave you a similar book to this. And he flips through a couple of pages, maybe 2/3 of the way. No, like a third of the way, maybe a quarter of the way into the book. And he starts listing off like different omens. A few of them you recognize. Lightning strikes twice. The lion is no longer king. And when mountains move and rivers shiver. And you recognize those three things in particular as like signs of an apocalypse from one of the books that you had gotten from inside that dungeon.
Yeah, I feel like that book was titled something like basically, apocalypse how-to guide.
Pretty much.
Yeah. How to identify your how to identify your oncoming apocalypse.
For dummies.
I mean, to be fair, we kind of knew that.
This book, and Trailing goes on to explain that the particular book that he has, that he's showing you, is primarily about the life cycle of the Phoenix. And that when the Phoenix is reborn, that serves as one of the catalysts to this recycled apocalyptic event. So the Phoenix, restarting its life cycle and the catastrophes that have hit Korsavabru and Skytown are matching up in a really ominous way.
Just to make sure I have this clear as Tina. So Phoenix it's basically, it's not a you're having an apocalypse now, but it's one of many signs that can kick one off. If you just had a Phoenix but nothing else, you'd be good. If you have a Phoenix and some other bad shit going on, it's kind of the, get down in your bunker and...
But the bunker's full of demons.
Yeah, it is.
The other one's flooded with water, so...
It is similar to... I don't remember what season of Supernatural it is.
Seals?
It was breaking the seals. There are like 50 different seals.
Yeah.
But not all of a certain number of them have to be broken. And they can be and like any combination of them have to be broken, but not all of them need to be broken.
Well, I feel like once you get to a certain threshold, stuff just starts to bust out.
And here I thought breaking the seal was just that first tinkle when you're drinking a lot of beer.
It's kind of like that, actually.
Just saying.
Except with demons.
And now I want to start Supernatural.
I've never watched that show.
Okay. So it's not like
Oh, you're
mountain
looking at it.
erupts, you're on full on apocalypse. It's mountain erupts and some other stuff is also going down, and someone is checking off boxes going, uh-oh.
That yeah, and that's essentially what
Mm.
Trallin is doing. He checks off
What?
2 boxes.
He gets the list out. He's counting them.
Cool.
Wait,
Great.
which two did he?
Yeah, which two? The Phoenix
What
and
is
what?
he? Yeah, Phoenix and
The Phoenix restarting its life cycle,
Mm-hmm.
and the second one
Mm.
is when mountains move and rivers shiver.
Okay, so
Mhm.
the volcano.
Well, what else has happened?
yeah. I mean, is there a? I don't remember when you
Yeah, has
guys
the
were reading
Lion
that
King
book
been born?
before.
Whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, is there a certain number? Is it like 5 of them and we're fucked, or like 3 of them? How close are we? If you just checked off 2.
Trallin says, well, unfortunately, I don't know. There are multiple accounts that describe the seals in different ways. Some seals are referenced in multiple sources. Some seals are referenced only in one source. So it is difficult to tell what truly is a seal. But this is something that a gear definitely needs to know about.
How long does it take for a phoenix to come out of its egg?
I know the answer. I know I wrote it down somewhere.
And Endeavor had one book on creatures, and it was basically Underdark shit, not phoenixes.
Correct.
So they probably looked through it and was like, "Yeah, this is nothing."
I will say, I know I've got it written down somewhere. I will say, for the moment, Trallin just says a substantial amount of time.
So
What if we keep it in the box? Can it not regenerate if it stays in the box?
The magic binding that egg to that vessel is the stuff of mortals, and a god, even a lesser god, would not be held by it any longer than they wish to be.
Okay.
So we don't have to be concerned that it'll be stuck in the box.
Good, I guess. When it hatches, it's just gonna hatch right out of the whole thing.
We should probably make sure not to be in the dome.
You should probably make sure not to have it in your pocket.
So I should never carry it, because if we're in the dome, somebody else would have to take it out. I
Play
can't go
hot
out of the
potato
dome
with it,
without-
just
I
being
think if it
like,
explodes when we're. I think if it hatches when we're in the dome, I don't think there's gonna be any time to get out of the dome.
maybe.
Well,
No,
I guess
maybe
the good thing is
maybe
the
we
dome
just
would
put
contain
it
the
in the dome.
explosion.
So okay,
Well, Helia would have to be in the dome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Magic.
This has happened before. I remember reading this is a cycle. Supposedly.
Yes, it is a cyclical event.
Is it? We have accounts of it happening before.
There are fragments of a few accounts from when it happened most recently, a few thousand years ago. Beyond that, there are no specifics, only mentions that it has happened more than once.
And there are seals, some of which are well enough known, and some of which are just speculated about, and they are all over the world. I'm assuming. And there was a group trying to get rid of this phoenix. Should
Force
It
we
would
its-
assume?
appear
Force its life
that
cycle.
Do we
Trowin
think?
looks at
Yeah.
Lula and said, yeah, it would appear that whoever that group was, whether they knew it or not, whether it was intentional or not, they acted to break that seal.
Are there groups in the world that want to break seals?
Is there anything else you can tell me about this other group?
Oh, I mean, Helly will dig in her bag and pull out the armor that she was wearing. This is her insignia.
You lay the armor out on the table.
Just to be clear, I only wore it because my other armor got destroyed when we were down near the demon portal of fuckery.
This poor
Just want to
town.
throw that out there.
Trellin looks at the armor, and after a few minutes, he says, I know I recognize that insignia, but I can't quite place where I know it from. Um, do you mind if I keep this?
Sure.
Um,
I will say when I put it on, I felt this sort of tingle, but like kind of in the back of my brain, but nothing seemed to happen.
Trellin draws his mace, and the mace begins to glow like almost like an amber blood orange. And he sweeps the mace over the armor, and as the mace comes over the armor, like he was shining a flashlight down on it, there is this bright glowing spot that moves over the armor. And Kralin just says, well, it doesn't appear to be cursed, if that's what you're worried about.
I mean, I guess it would have been too little too late, but good to know.
He takes the armor and quickly almost haphazardly folds it up, and moves to another corner of the office. There's a large chest, and he kind of just puts the armor in there, just so it's out of the way and away. And he says, "Well, I'll do a little bit of research and see if there's anything else I can corroborate or give any more context to. Unfortunately, my available free time is at a minimum with the, um, we'll call them protests. Um, but if there's anything else that you need, our doors are always open to you. And
What
the
happens
next
if
time you come calling, if a gear is not here, I always will be.
Sorry to have barged in like that. Again, we weren't sure how else to go about since it seemed like there's quite the zoo outside. Can understand why you have the doors locked.
Um, well, at when the event first happened, when the earthquakes started, um, we had an open door policy, but we had to start turning people away because the atrium became more of a um, it began to resemble more of a fight club than it did a place of worship or healing. Um, and unfortunately, many of our own clerics were the victims of that violence. But we still do whatever we can, as much as we can, um, to restabilize the city. It's just unfortunate that the Deep Legion had to be involved.
Can you hear that? Max is coughing.
Mm.
From your perspective, the Deep Legion actually helping in this situation?
That is a difficult question to answer. Um, 3 days ago, I would have said yes, absolutely. Um, the issue that I take with the Legion is that once they are on a path, it is often difficult for their leadership to step off that path.
Dustin, I'm sure you told us. This is Rhodes trying to remember what was there a mayor of Skytown? Like, who would have, in theory, have been in charge before this?
So, Skytown is essentially, think of Skytown as like one district of Korsavabru. It is the surface district. Um so there's no like singular person in charge of this district. It's kind of the city in its entirety is governed by a council, which is the leaders of all of the guilds, which also happen to be the leaders of all of the noble families. Um, that council is led by an essentially an emperor, um, who is it is a hereditary position, but it can be elected if no heir is available. Um, but that person resides in the city proper in the mountain. Um, But yeah. So yeah, Trallin again just says, if there's anything else that you guys need, the temple is always open to you. And I think we will take a tight 5 here. So everybody take a few minutes, let the dogs out, get up and stretch your legs, and we will be back in just a few minutes.
Sounds good. Be back soon. Hello, Internet.
Ooh.
Welcome back.
Oh, are you still here?
We hope so.
Alright. So yeah, is there anything else last minute that you guys want to talk about or ask Trallin about before you leave the Forge Master Temple?
So we're
What
not
happens?
leaving the Phoenix. We're taking the Phoenix into Corsava Brew.
Yeah, that's a couple questions. A, should we keep, if a gear is, I was going to call it downstairs.
Inside.
If he's inside the house.
Yeah.
Should
The
we?
call's coming from inside the house.
Yeah. Should we, is it better off with us than here?
Is that something that you're asking
Mhm.
Trallin or amongst
Yeah.
yourselves?
Trellin.
Yes.
Trallin looks at you and says, to be entirely honest, with all of the turmoil and attitudes about the temple and focusing around the temple right now, it might actually be safer with you. I have seen what the four of you are capable of and have no doubt that you would be able to keep that artifact safe. If anything were to happen and looters ever got into my office, I would hate to think of the damage and destruction that could be wrought either on purpose or even by accident if that artifact fell into the wrong hands. I would warn you that if anyone learned the true nature of that artifact, it would paint a considerable target on your back. So
That's new.
best to keep that, low key. Maybe don't advertise that you have it or what it is.
And just out of curiosity, what happens if, so you have there's this gesture to the book on the desk and all of the various papers. What happens if enough of these omens, seals, portents are checked off?
I'm not entirely certain exactly what will happen or how it will happen. The most of the accounts agree only on civilization as we know it will end. Which is plenty ominous enough that I would rather see it not happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it kind of is already starting.
And should we
Skytown has
keep it?
ended the way we.
Yeah.
The way we used
And-
to live has ended.
And potentially down below, inside too. Is there anything we ought to keep an eye out for while we're traveling?
Nothing immediately that comes to mind, but if I think of something or if I learn something, I will find a way to pass the information along to you.
All right. Well, let's get our.
Oh,
Get our
who's
things.
the person that Agir's helping?
The high
Who
priestess?
is high priestess of? Is it the same temple?
Of the Forge Master.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Well, good luck.
And to you as well. I feel as though we will all need it.
You have a back door.
Did I design this temple?
Is it up to fire code?
We
This
could make a
is-
back door.
Yeah. Whether or not they want the back door.
I feel like you should have an escape strategy.
Could just do what Helia did.
I can't do
Make
what Elliot did.
You just make your own door.
Well, yes.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can.
well, I could
can.
if I blow it up. That's not really a door
It's like a
per se.
It's a doorway.
permanent window?
An archway.
An archway.
Yeah,
I don't have any
Krellin leads you to
Explosives.
another room which upon opening the door it is revealed to be essentially like a dormitory. And there is a door that leads out from there. He says, "Well, you'll have to jump the fence, but this leads to the rear of the building."
Great.
How tall is the fence?
10 feet.
Okay.
You could just stand on my shoulders.
It's a little
Yes.
demeaning, but probably necessary.
Yes, spider climb on Brutus.
Stay. You stay. Stay. Over here.
Alright, we leave.
Alright.
Stay here.
So what else do you guys want to do in Skytown? It is still kind of late afternoon. You're already meant to report to the Deep Armory Keep at dawn tomorrow.
So we're kind of stuck in
But-
town for the night.
Well, do you want to
You
go
could
check
try
on
and,
Elsa?
yeah,
I mean, it is right here. We could stop in, check in with them for a little bit, and then head south, cross the bridge, get some supplies.
Yeah, your family could probably tell us the best place to get supplies right now.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Unless they've managed to grab something. They might have some things.
What sort of supplies do we think we need?
Well, still needs bullets. I imagine rocks don't exactly take the place of those.
No.
I think I'm pretty good with spell components, but
Yeah.
potions.
Oh, potions. I'm trying to think.
The usuals.
We're going. Well,
We have to assume where we're going is not a city.
and we won't have.
We have to assume we do not have access to supplies in there. Normally
What about
we
things
would,
like?
but
What about food?
it's flooded. I doubt that.
So we're not short on water?
I can create water. Not that anybody needs it right now.
Can
So-
you create food?
Think for a moment. it probably would not be very good.
I don't know if I would want whatever. Do you have? Does Endeavor have like taste buds? Like, can Endeavor taste?
Did you program taste?
Yeah, when you built Endeavor, did you give Endeavor a tongue?
No.
And is it
no?
a tongue of flesh?
No, definitely not fleshy.
Is it like a not a
No.
I like to think that Endeavor has like a mouth that moves and articulates, but you have no tongue.
Mm-mm.
And like in the back of your throat where
It's a
your
little
like
speaker box.
uvula would be, it's just a little speaker box.
It's like,
Yeah, so I
it's
guess
not
you
even a
wouldn't
speaker
taste.
box so much as it's like a little tiny microphone that
Yeah.
Lula found
Yeah.
and then like tinkered with and rewired.
Yeah.
I don't know if she would think about taste. I think once you became like sentient, maybe working on all of the other senses
Can I create food? Wait
slowly.
a second.
So I feel like
a berry that might be good.
I
Well, if you can smell,
could-
I would imagine that you could taste. Those are tied together.
Technically, sometimes not though. But
I
yeah,
mean, if you have COVID, sometimes you have one but not the other.
that's true.
I can make limited quantities of
Not so great food.
sustenance
Eh.
that could be helpful, but we might also want to bring things.
Well,
I know you tend to like a varied diet.
Well, yes, but it's also
You'd
better to
have
have
you'd have
whatever
to go.
you can make than nothing.
It would be you'd be on the full vegan diet.
I feel like Zill's a meat and potatoes kind of guy.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're just getting fruit. That's it.
Not a whole lot of fruit. A little bit of scurvy on that side of the
Yeah.
party.
Mm-hmm.
It's this like in Lost when Hurley was only eating the mangoes and couldn't figure out why he was having stomach issues.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were just watching
But yes,
that.
we have that.
So we need food. We need bullets.
We need food. We need bullets. We
Some
need
healing potions would probably not be a bad idea.
No, probably not.
Speaking from our earlier fight,
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other?
I'm sure there's some things at my place.
Is
but-
there? What about like? I've never been under the mountain.
I haven't either.
Is there a guide?
I don't know if a guide's gonna be applicable if it's flooded.
I know. Or just
Wasn't it-
maybe
yeah,
maybe the Deep Legion might have something.
Maybe we can ask surely somebody at the headquarters knows like what the situation is in there. How are we gonna get in?
Well,
Does our free pass still work?
I could swim.
I can't.
You could hold on to me, and we'll put one of those air bubbles around you, and I'll be a
Can
submarine.
Brutus swim?
You guys, one of the few times that you've crossed over the bridge near Forge Master Temple, you see that there actually is, the path is from the south end of town. But there actually is a path that like snakes down that side of the ravine, to go through where like the gatehouse to Korsavabru was.
Yeah, I'm not wondering so much about the location. I'm wondering more about the red tape
Mm.
and if our free pass that we had originally is still valid.
Well, if they want us going in this city, then I'm sure they'll, if necessary, write a new pass, signed Deep Legion in order to get us in. Hard to give us a mission if they can't grant us access and entrance.
Do we know if the mission's in the inside? Did I miss that? Did I black out?
We don't know yet. I kind of assumed either that or they would be sending us down into the big chasm.
True. I think I'd rather go on the mountain. I think I might rather go fight those demons or devils or whatever those were.
Okay. So we need food. Well,
need food.
we need food.
Let's assume we need food.
We'll we'll assume it's going to be like when we're traveling outside the city.
Yeah. We're gonna basically be doing. We can't assume that we're gonna have access to anything.
Oh. Also, where should we keep the
In no, that sounds like a bad idea.
That sounds like a really bad idea.
We don't have a bag of holding. I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, I could just
stick in the
put in my
building.
put it in my backpack, but
Yeah, what if you lose
it
your
also
backpack?
seems like a terrible idea.
I can't stick it
Feel-
inside myself, I don't think.
I don't think I want to know.
I feel like the bag of holding is the best place.
We don't have
Do
a
we
bag.
have a bag of holding?
Mm-mm.
We don't have a we don't
Oh,
You
we
guys
talked
don't-
about turning Brutus into a
Yeah.
bag of holding. That was it. But it hasn't happened yet.
I don't
Yeah.
have the. I don't have the blueprint for that yet. I haven't figured it out.
Well, I guess
Too
if
many
we
campaigns to keep it all straight.
Bag of holding is a standard thing that we typically have at this point. It's like
well,
a
I guess if we
fixed
floated,
point
if we
in time.
floated in the beer, it could be padded-ish, right?
You floated
I
in
mean,
the
I guess
beer.
I could empty the remove the keg tonight and create like an insulated
No.
an insulated thing. Then it becomes a cooler.
We should
A
definitely not.
kegerator.
We should
But is it cool for a phoenix egg?
Well,
Or is
you
it
just
just
I
gonna-
would
insulate it.
hesitate for Brutus to
I would
fart in his
insulate
bed
it
and-
so that he wouldn't become an oven. He wouldn't become suddenly a heat source.
But that could solve our food problem.
Let them cook things in it? On him? You want to make an omelet on my dog?
Why not?
We've left the temple, right? Right? Like we're not gonna get struck down
No,
because we're talking.
walking
So we're like, we
Yeah,
should definitely.
So during
I mean,
this
we're
whole
going to omelet-
We're going to
conversation,
props to Hops.
where
We're going to props.
props to Hops?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not an omelet per se, but I mean, like maybe a burger or a nice piece of fish.
You gonna grill on my dog?
Or fry.
If the phoenix is reborn and it spent its early life just floating in a vat of beer, do you think that would impact what it's like when it's actually a phoenix?
Probably. Would it be a poached egg then?
Oops,
So,
we
if
accidentally
you
poached
have
your
it
god.
cooked-
Beer.
Yeah,
Scotch
if you
egg?
put it in a big barrel of
Is
scotch,
that
would it become a
you,
scotch
Scotch
egg?
Only in the literal sense.
I
how
don't
Scotch
know
eggs are
if
made,
that's
so
what
I
a
don't know.
Scotch egg actually is.
It's not.
Scotch eggs are delicious.
They are. They're a lot of freaking work to make, but they are so good.
We should not
Okay,
do
I
that
made
to
you
the...
pozole last time. You make me Scotch eggs the next
Okay.
time.
Fair enough.
It's fine. We'll find a place. We'll find a place for it.
I
We
can
just-
if you're okay. If you're okay with it, I can try and make a compartment in Brutus. How big is the container? Like, meh?
Yeah.
It is like a large lantern.
Come on, Vogue.
Yeah.
But okay, here's the thing. If it's
Okay,
in
so-
there, we're not going to be able to utilize it.
No.
If we will not. So if we want access
Okay.
to it, we may want to at least hold on to it until such a time comes that we have a container we can
Do
more
we-
easily access if needed.
So
we need
what
to
if you make
discuss.
the compartment in his hind end and there's an opening for the elemental to come out?
No.
So you arrive I'm shutting this shit down. It's too far.
Storming. We'll figure it out. What the least I can do is the very least is
Workshopping it.
I can rig some sort of backpack
Mm-hmm.
so somebody can wear it, and then we'll just
Yeah.
disperse somebody else's backpack, or I can store my shit in Brutus. And
Well, could you make a
wear his
saddlebag
backpack.
for Brutus?
I could make a saddlebag for Brutus, put my backpack on, and like put my stuff in the saddlebag, and then I wear the phoenix and disguise it because I feel like it's kind of conspicuous right now.
Yeah, it's really.
So then I make a container to disguise it, wear it like a backpack, and go from there. Okay, OBS, that's cool. You can just.
Yeah. So we're
bet.
props to Hops.
Props to Hops.
Are we allowed in this
Sorry, dog.
time?
Yes.
Okay.
You could always, well, if you're gonna offload the keg, it might be nice to leave it here.
Yeah, because
Brutus
it's
is
almost
the
done.
keg.
Brutus, I mean, there's like self-containment in it. He's not like fully like watertight.
It's just,
I just
you're
sloshing.
sloshing every time Brutus moves. And
That's why
everyone
I-
wonders why you guys smell like beer all the time.
It's also why I miss in battle sometimes, is because the like momentum from the liquid just like slides us.
God.
That means it's not your fault.
Yeah, exactly. It's physics.
Didn't the temple
Physics
just say we're
fault.
super competent? We're like
Yeah.
really competent.
They let us keep a phoenix.
They didn't hear
That
this
was a bad
conversation
idea.
about putting it inside your beer-filled dog.
With the poop door out the back.
It's a poop shoot, okay.
Does that make it more tactical or something?
Oh, and the beer spigot tap.
Oh no!
So you arrive at props to Hobbs.
Yes, we do.
You walk through the door, not really paying attention to the fact that you have arrived and
Nope.
now you are surrounded by Lula's family, having this conversation, and suddenly you realize that there are.
Oh, there's like 20 of them.
There's so many of
There's
them.
so
I tried
many
to write
gnomes
them.
in this room.
I tried to write them down.
All the
I feel
apple
very
bottoms.
tall at the moment.
Yeah.
4, 6, 8.
Feel
You
very
see a lot
awkward.
of
These.
receding hairlines.
There's so many of them.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's almost 24 gnomes that,
Yeah.
like, all conversation just stops. And these, like, 19, 20 gnomes are all just looking at your group as you are having this conversation.
I immediately look for Odatra.
You do not see her.
Elsa? My uncle? That I don't remember his name right now?
It's George.
Paralyn.
Paralyn. Paralyn?
You do see Paralyn.
But-
And your parents, and Wilric and his entire clan are all
Okay.
in, like, the main bar.
Okay. Like everybody.
Like, all of the people here are your family. Odatra and Elsa are not in the main atrium.
Okay. They might be somewhere. I mean, my uncle being here makes me feel like they didn't leave. Just trying to clock where Odatra is in case I need to duck a fist.
No, she's not in the room.
Okay.
I can cast Hold Person on her if you need me to.
Let's
Will that hold her?
keep that in our back pockets. Are you?
I mean, like, she is a person.
You sure about that?
No.
She's like, I identify as a bitch.
Lulu's gonna conveniently not comment on that quip. And gesture to the bar.
Mm.
Why don't you guys take a seat? And then I will go find Mom and Dad.
Yeah, one of the quintuplets brings over just a round of waters for everybody.
Thank you.
Sam, your parents are both sitting at another table.
Okay, I will sit with them.
Okay. Do you need to check on him?
No, he's good.
He's sleeping.
No, he's chewing on a bone.
Your parents looking very run down and exhausted. They both regard you as you pull up a stool.
Do I have anything for them? I've already given them most of my money. Yeah, I can't really do much, but okay, so I'll sit and ask first where Odatra and Elza went off to.
Your mother thinks for a second and she says, I think they're just upstairs.
Okay. I have to go on a mission. So we're just collecting some supplies. But we'll keep you all kind of... I'll check in when I get back. I'm not quite sure what it's going to be yet, or how long I'm going to be gone.
Where are you going?
I don't know yet. I think maybe into the mountain. To help out.
And seems like just about anybody who's not directly putting Skytown back together is being sent into the mountain. I can only imagine how extensive the destruction there is.
Yeah. So, we're just trying to collect some supplies. I have to go back to my place. We'll probably stay there tonight. You guys need your space.
Well, if you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. I don't know how much we'll be able to help or what we will actually be able to provide. Not much is left, but we'll do what we can for you.
Actually, bullets? Ammunition?
Well, I don't have anything on me, but I think we might be able to scrounge something up before you leave. When are you leaving? You said tomorrow morning?
We're heading back to headquarters tomorrow morning. Dawn. It's pretty early, but I can be here before that.
No, we'll meet you at Deep Armory Keep.
You sure?
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll be fine.
Okay. Do you know of anybody whose shops are still open?
That haven't been looted. It very much depends on what you're looking for.
Probably what everybody else needs. Just food, potions. I don't anticipate us being able to access too much inside.
your best bet for any um, potions or um, magic items or things of that nature would be Dragonsteel HQ.
Okay.
That campus, because they share campus with Sharper Visage. That would be your best bet. I would imagine that any any other shops or other establishments are just as likely to have been looted.
Yeah, more than likely. The Deep Legion has already taken most of what they have, so. Okay. Well, we don't want to take any of your food. So we should probably leave. But we'll see you at the Deep Armory.
Um, yeah, Dawn, right?
Dawn.
We'll be there.
Okay. Um. Then I will hug them. And then sneak over to Wilrick for a second. And lean down and say, my dog is currently a keg.
I'm listening.
I feel like I need to, safely extract what he's holding. I'm not sure if it's done, though.
I'm listening intently.
Think you can help?
I think we can figure something out. And Wilrick will call for Warner, one of the quintuplets, to lend a hand. What exactly are you doing?
Basically just... really don't have time. I don't really have time if we're, like, being recruited and, like, sent in for, like, first, rescue and aid to be caring for fermenting beer.
Okay.
So, basically, if he's able to... I don't know enough about beer and, like, fermenting to, like... if he can extract it and put it into his own keg, otherwise I'll take apart the machinery inside. Like the bottle and whatever, to have him hook it up.
Okay. Go ahead and make a tool proficiency check with
Brewer's tools? Brewer's kit?
brewer's tools.
Well, I don't have those on hand, but he would.
You also don't have. You are not proficient in brewer's tools.
I am not.
So just roll.
Can I just help?
Yeah.
Ulrich?
I'll say that Wilrick is gonna make this a +4, but you're gonna give him advantage.
Sweet.
And he needs a 15.
Add a +5 to that.
Okay.
For a flash of genius.
Plenty. So with a 27.
Okay, guess I didn't need to use that. Fine. We're going to bed soon anyway.
Yeah, between the three of you, essentially, you're able to just, like, drop the keg out of off of Brutus's frame, and then pour that into a proper barrel before giving Brutus back like his entire midsection.
It's like in a shell.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you're essentially, with the keg removed, he's
So he moves a lot
essentially
faster.
2 sets of legs connected by a spine.
Rhodes immediately no.
No, not a fan. But yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, so essentially you empty the keg to, and Wilrick tastes it.
It's probably not very good.
It's not.
Make it better. If you can't make it
It's
better, toss it.
It's definitely not done yet, or it was done a long time ago.
Well,
One of the two.
try and make it better. If you can't make it better, just toss it. And then teach me how to make it better next time.
Yeah.
I was trying to do, something different.
You were trying to do something you had no idea how to do, but you were doing it anyway.
Correct.
Who else does that sound like? And he just kind of looks around the entire
Whole
room.
family.
He looks at his 5 kids.
Yeah. And siblings.
No, he seems to know how to do that pretty well.
Remember, they're quintuplets.
True.
Are they identical?
No.
Oh, okay.
Thank God.
Yeah, they're not so much quintuplets as they are just a litter.
You know how, like, twins run in a family? I feel like gnomes typically, like, it's...
I thought you were going to say gnomes run in a family.
Gnomes run in a family, yes.
Everything runs in a gnomish family.
In a gnomish family, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like multiples run in a gnomish family. Lula is an anomaly as a only child.
See, now I just like the idea of, instead of gnomes, like, just like humans are typically, like, single births,
Yeah.
gnomes, for whatever reason, have litters.
God.
Yes. Okay.
Really unfortunate for that poor mother, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is everything here. I don't want to necessarily risk going upstairs and the Wrath of Odatra, so I will, I'll leave a little note for Elsa.
Okay. While all of that is going on, what are the other 3 of you doing? If anything.
Where did the dog deconstruction take place?
Oh,
Was that just like out in the middle of the room or in the
Oh,
back
yeah.
somewhere?
Oh no, we
No, just
fully
like
did this,
out
like...
in the middle of the room.
Oh, I'm watching and just like basically placing bets with like anyone near me. Like, okay, how long do you think it'll take one of them to drop that keg on their foot? And just shit talking Lula basically the whole time.
That's
under my
mean.
breath.
One of the
Now, he couldn't do any better. He's just being a jerk.
one of the quintuplets overhears this comment, and just like as they're walking by, this child is just, no, that's alcohol abuse. That won't happen. Not here, it won't.
I just, even though it's water, just, tip my glass to the kid like, all right, respect.
I have trouble telling the difference between the children and the adults because at some point they become very close in height.
True.
I mean, you don't have to say it out loud.
Yeah, Endeavor, for
At some
you...
point, they have the same hairline, too.
I know.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
Endeavor especially, they are all just very short.
They're all very small, and that like last 2 inches between the, the equivalent of a 12-year-old gnome that just had a growth spurt and their 40-year-old parent is not enough.
Yeah.
The quintuplets, if any of those are identical, it's basically just like it's one person. How do you keep track of them all?
Don't.
A woman.
You don't.
A woman is setting down a fresh mug behind you, and yeah, it just says, we don't. We try our best.
I wonder what it's like growing up with a bunch of others. Very loud.
Yeah, they can be.
How many siblings do you have, Zil?
2.
Just 2?
Just 2. We were a small litter.
I heard that happens sometimes.
Do you have
Only
siblings?
have one sibling, but haven't seen him in years, so
Is he older or younger?
younger.
Will we meet him?
Probably not.
I don't think I have
Story
siblings.
for another time.
We're just.
My shit froze. I don't know if you heard me say it. It's a story for another time.
I heard it, but your video was frozen.
Oh.
Alright. So you guys are having this conversation. Lula returns to the table with a freshly emptied Brutus.
Yes.
Oh, he moves a lot faster now.
Yeah, a little bit. Zil, I'll have ammo for you in the morning. I don't know how much, but
I appreciate it.
kind of vital for you to do your job.
Alright.
Pretty much.
So there are a few other places you guys could perceivably go. You could see if there's anything interesting going on at the Dire Keg, although you're not being led
I was
there
just gonna-
by anything per se.
I was just gonna mention, because we're up in that zone. They were up
Yeah, they're like
Kind of
across
just
this. They're like
from Moonlight Row area.
Yeah. The Dire Keg is essentially like at the other end of Moonlight Row.
Yeah.
But it is underground, so if there are people... If there's information, that might be a place to get it.
You guys also have not hit up the mutton shop,
We have...
which is your normal haunt.
Oh, we should check on what's his name.
Yeah, probably.
And then you are being directed to the Dragon Steel campus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we can swing there on our way back. So maybe Mutton Shop, Dragon Steel Campus, mine
Yeah.
and Zill's place to crash.
Should some of us, and by some of us I mean I guess me and maybe Helia, since we don't have a house, go to the forge? I mean, it's kind of ours now, just to see.
Oh yeah, and the Phoenix Fire Forge, just to see what that looks like.
If you'd like, but don't think you have to like sleep in the middle of a broken forge. You
Well, it
won't
was
probably
repaired.
fit on my bed, but you're welcome to still stay at my place.
I feel like at least we ought to check it out and make sure everything is in order before we're responsible for it now. I think someone could also probably sue us if it explodes again.
Did we actually sign anything saying that we took over ownership?
No, we were
Sorry.
just handed a deed.
Wrong character. Wrong campaign.
Still doesn't care.
Is it filed? Has it been filed with the city?
Right.
In triplicate. Alright, so Forge.
But that'll be last because I'll go there literally to like crash for the night, also to kind of rummage through shit and see if anything fun was left behind. But
I'll go with you. I mean, I could always put up a dome for us overnight.
You guys don't have to camp.
I don't really
I have
sleep.
a roof. Like, my apartment was pretty much untouched so far.
Maybe we'll come over after we check out the forge.
We can do that.
Alright.
So yeah, dragon steel. No, mutton chop, dragon steel, and then to the homes.
Yeah.
All right. You said mutton chop first.
Yeah.
All right. You guys head over to the mutton chop. It is busier than you have ever seen it. All of the tables are filled. There are people like standing. Like the bar is like 2 rows deep of people. It is clearly just one of the few safe places in town. A lot of homes were destroyed. A lot of other taverns were destroyed. Inns. There's, for the people who have been displaced and are not leaving the city entirely, there are few places for them to go, and the mutton shop is kind of somewhat centrally located in the city. So naturally, it is, a pretty popular spot.
Do we even want to try going inside?
I don't know if we're gonna get much out of any. Like, we could sit and listen, but it's pretty crowded. Seems like they're doing okay.
Seems like they're doing well.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to. I doubt we'll get a table this time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
our
you
usual's
walk
taken.
in and you immediately see that there's no available tables or really any seating.
Yeah, so. Dragon Steel?
Yeah.
All right. You guys pop your heads in. The place definitely looks busy. And move on your way. You get to the sun at this point. If the sun was even out, it is still raining. Thunder abounds. But if the sun had been out, it would be setting at this point. So it is starting to get darker. The streets are starting to clear. And you get to the Dragonsteel campus, like just as most of the other people are leaving, either heading home for the night or just getting to the late shift. And you see, so the campus is essentially like, it's 2 large buildings that kind of bookend this large courtyard. And between the 2 buildings are like essentially like lines of shops or other like third party type buildings that kind of encapsulate this like common grounds. There are like different types of support buildings. There is a very small tavern, which is boarded up completely. Um, and another shop that is little more than like a kiosk has a sign above the door that says augury and alchemy.
Mm.
And there is still a light on inside.
Seems the best place to try.
Yeah.
What are we specifically coming for?
Healing potions. Potions of any kind. I'm sure that the Legion has probably... Did we lose Dustin? I think we lost Dustin.
Oh yeah, he's frozen. I
Uh,
thought it was just me at first, since my
No.
internet's like so unstable.
Nope, we lost OBS too.
It's okay.
Nope, now it's back.
Womp womp.
You're okay.
I'm sure most supplies have probably been commandeered by the Legion, but we can see what we can get. I mean, we don't have a ton of money, but
Well, if they're sending us on a mission, do we think they have things to provide to us like that?
Yeah, but if there's
Wishful
something
thinking.
else,
yeah.
I think that a lot of what they have has probably been used up in the 3 days since the, as everyone seems to call it, event.
There
Oh,
he
am I
is.
back?
There we go.
It's like your whole video just caught up at the same time, and
It
you
did.
moved really fast all of a sudden.
Those guys, yeah, that.
Gotta go fast.
I was taking a dance break. So yeah, there's one shop that looks promising with the words augury and alchemy above the door.
Let's take a look inside.
Yeah, you peer through the window. The shop looks pretty bare. But there is one we'll say he's a human. There's one human just kind of
Okay.
like it in the last like 20 minutes of your retail shift, and there's no customers in the store, and you've already dusted the whole store like 4 times, and you're just waiting for the clock to strike so you can turn off the open sign and lock the door. That's the kind of milling about that this gentleman is doing.
Oh, now I feel bad being the asshole
Yeah.
showing up right before close.
Yup. We're those people.
Are those people? Alright. Go inside.
But you go in anyway? You're gonna be that guy?
Tough times. Yeah. Gonna be that guy.
Alright. The 4 of you come in, and the guy kind of looks at you and says, "Oh, hello. You looking for anything in particular? Is there anything I can assist you with?"
Healing potions?
Yeah. Or any stock you might have left?
Roselia has fuck all for gold, so.
Get some pretty gold.
Do you have a guild contract for pickups?
No, we're picking up a assignment tomorrow, but figured we would get started on supplies.
Okay. Let's.
We can come back tomorrow.
There's gonna be less stock tomorrow than there is now. There's not much left, but you're welcome to look around and just let me know if you have any questions. There's potions along this rack, and I have some spell components and other tools. But yeah, just let me know if there's something you don't see. I might be able to let you know if or when I might be able to get it back in stock.
Take a look at the potions.
All right. So you actually do find three standard healing potions.
Cool. Wanna take 'em?
Yeah, they're all marked at they're marked at 65 gold apiece.
Bullshit. Market price is 50.
Yeah, there's some
It's called supply and demand.
yeah.
It's called
These are
price
COVID
gouging.
prices.
These are
Yeah,
COVID
there's some price gouging going on.
There's some price gouging going on.
Well, I didn't want to eat eggs for breakfast anyway.
How much do we have in the communal fund?
375.
Okay.
Unless somebody would like to try and haggle.
That's good, because I only have like 40.
This is not the character that can haggle.
65 a piece?
Yes.
Surely the Legion doesn't pay 65 apiece.
Let me ask you a question. If we come back tomorrow with a contract, how much will that price be?
He says, so in response to Lula saying, surely the Legion doesn't pay 65, he responds, guilds that are pre-contracted for supplies to pick up, don't pay full price, but, you know, private citizens just stocking up between jobs do.
I look at the group. Might as well come back tomorrow then.
Guess so.
Well, I'll tell you, if you come back tomorrow, these potions probably won't be here.
Insight.
Go ahead.
I want to see if he's telling a little fib to try and get us to purchase now at the higher price. Oh shit.
Well,
Maximus,
they
don't
wouldn't-
eat that one.
he's behind you.
I know that. That's the problem.
No, like by your bed.
Oh, he went over there. Okay. You stay. Insight is 27.
Oh shit.
I read all the body language.
He seems pretty genuine. You don't get you don't really get a sense of him withholding information, or
These are
that
likely
he's-
to be gone by tomorrow, based
these
on.
are likely to be gone by tomorrow. It's also he's also difficult to read. This is the first time you've ever met him. You don't have a baseline behavior to compare against.
I mean, we do risk there. If the contract does not include provisions, we risk not having any. We don't know if they're going to provide.
True. I want to just take 2.
We'll take 2.
Alright, we'll take 2.
All right. Are there any kind of spell components or other supplies of that nature that you might need. Um,
Well, that depends. Are those marked up as well?
the prices are marked on the items.
I think just the potions.
You don't happen to sell bullets or anything like that, do you? Magical bullets?
High or low?
High.
Um, he says, unfortunately, we do not sell any weapons or ammunition or anything of that sort.
Fair enough.
We normally sell, a fair amount of adventuring type gear and tools. But even that stock is picked pretty clean right now with everything going on in the new dam trying to get built. Um, Things like rope and climbing gear and things of that sort all went pretty quick.
Does that gear include just basic explosives? TNT and the like?
Um,
I feel like alchemists should be able to come up with something like that.
High or low?
I'll go low this time.
He says, no, unfortunately, nothing like that, like Alchemist Fire. I don't have anything left in stock.
Well, I had to try. I've always wanted to get alchemist fire. I don't come by these parts very often, so figured I'd ask.
Well, under normal circumstances, I would have, at least some of those types of items available, but with everything that's happened, it's trying to get restocked from the tower is difficult.
Fair enough. Just out of curiosity, how much would alchemist fire normally cost? Says the person living on a pension.
A not insubstantial amount. Um, 75 gold, he says.
Okay. One day. So now you guys know what Zill wants for Christmas.
Alchemist Fire, got it. See what I can do. Thank you, Mutacorp.
Sorry, Max was yelling at me. Do not take it out. Helia will chip in for supplies for that Christmas present.
Good.
Alright. So we'll take those 2 potions.
All right. That
130.
totals 130
Hand it over.
plus tax.
I will reach across this counter. Brutus growls.
He doesn't say that.
Okay, if this is some sort of uncivilized place that doesn't have tax built into the price, we're leaving. We're done, okay?
What is this,
I
the
just saw it.
US?
I just saw a TikTok this morning. It was adventurer walks into a magic shop. Yes, everything you see on the shelves is for sale, but be warned, everything has a price. Yeah, I know how shops work. But you don't understand. The price may be something that is unexpected. Yeah, I know how taxes work. Look, I'm trying to tell you that I'm evil and I don't care about your well being when I sell you these things. Yeah, I know how capitalism works.
Yeah, fair. Didn't hear a lie.
Good times. But yeah, so you buy the two healing potions.
I immediately hand one to Zill and one to Helia.
Okay.
Should have
Thanks.
handed both to
Thank you.
Helia, but
I
cheers.
can heal myself now.
Vaguely insulted, but thanks.
I just don't know all the spells yet, okay? I'm still learning.
All right. What is your next stop?
I think it was gonna be the forge for two of us, and
And then Lula's home for a
Zill's.
slumber party.
If at the very least, Lula's gonna go back and pick up some parts and bits and pieces and bobs.
Okay. At this point, um, you guys have a considerable distance to cover through the south end of town, but
I don't.
the just about the only people that you encounter are other Deep Legion patrols.
Yeah.
At this point, the any civilians, I'll say, are off the streets. You go and you check out the Phoenix Fire Forge.
We want to pause since Endeavor really wanted to
Yeah,
search here.
yeah, we can stall for a bit and talk about
just pick it
how
up next time?
everybody's day was. Yeah, or if we just want to end here for the evening.
It's 9:15.
Oh yeah, it is 9:15. So yeah, let's do that. Let's end it here. We'll pick up with the Phoenix Fire Forge and a quick long rest. And then we will go into the mountain. Ooh.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Right.
Alright, kids.
Thanks.
Well, thanks for playing.
That's fun.
Yeah, and we'll pick it up again right next week.
Yep, next week.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Thanks, Internet. Bye,
Right.
Internet.
Okay,
Bye,
bye.
interwebs.
Bye.